What is this? What is this? This is right. इसको मैं आगे सेट कर रही हूँ बेटर है, लेकिन बात भी अगर तुम करोगे तो लोग कैसे आएंगे? तो वो ऐसे भी पीछे से आ रहा है। ये क्या हो रहा है? क्या करना? इसको आता है, निशा को आता है, मैं ही नहीं बोलती।
Beyond. It's ideal that we have at Xavier's College, Autonomous, Kolkata. And this spirit certainly permeated this event as well. The success owed to the effort and commitment of every member of the Xavier's Management Society, without whom organizing an event of this magnitude would not have been possible. As they conclude their immensely successful event, I would like to wish all of you all the best for the future endeavors. We have two important guests by the time, Mrs. Anamika Khanna did not study here, but both its sons are studying here. And of course, we have Mrs. Tiwari, our old student, and we had a very good chat in the small parlor. They were very happy, they are very proud to come here and address you. So I thank both of them on behalf of St. Xavier's College and the Department of Business Management Studies, and we are grateful to both of you. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you, Father. Now, I would like to introduce our distinguished speaker, Mrs. Anamika Khanna, and our moderator, Ms. Archita Tiwari. Mrs. Anamika Khanna is an Indian fashion designer born in Jodhpur and brought up in Kolkata, who combined her love for Indian textiles and Indian fashion to create outfits that are relevant and wearable, and now produces ready-to-wear, menswear, and bridal line products catering to both Indian and international clients. She has also had the diffusion label Anamika, where she was the first Indian designer to launch her own international label and started retailing globally. In 1995, she was awarded at the Damania Fashion Award, a prestigious Indian fashion design accolade. On further recognition, she achieved multiple awards like Vogue Woman of the Year Award, Designer of the Year 2018, Indian Fashion Awards, Designer of the Year 2021, to name a few. She was invited to showcase at the Paris Fashion Week and the Buckingham Palace in the year 2017. Following this, she also got coverage in magazines like Glamour and Vogue. Mrs. Khanna has also contributed to the fundraising efforts for the Tata Medical Center in Kolkata, which is dedicated to helping the underprivileged cancer patients. Apart from a label Anamika Khanna, she also launched AKOK in 2019, which is meant for a younger, experimental audience that seeks comfort in the undefined. The mantra that encapsulates the brand's design philosophy today is, everything will be okay and it will all be AKOK. Thank you so much, ma'am, for gracing our event with your presence. We are glad to have you here with us. I would now like to welcome our respected moderator for this session, Ms. Archita Tiwari. Ms. Archita Tiwari is a soft skill trainer and communication coach having 6+ years of experience in the field of training. She has trained over 10,000 students and over 1,000 corporate employees so far. She has conducted soft skills and personality development Don Bosco Group of Schools, IIT Calcutta, and many more. She has been a 2-time national debate champion and district finalist in World Champion of Public Speaking. She has conducted corporate training sessions for Tata Group Industries, Aditya Birla Group, Price Waterhouse Cooper, and many other organizations. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. I would request everyone in the audience to rise on their feet as the dignitaries take a seat in the audience. I would now request Ma'am Archita Tiwari and Mrs. Anamika Khanna to take the session forward on the topic on entrepreneurial innovation and skill sets. Hope the audience has a great enriching session. The audience will take a seat. Hello. Guys, are you able to hear me? Yes. That's a very low yes, but okay. Yes. Now we just ask them to increase the volume a bit.
Okay. Please.
Right now? Okay, hello everyone. Hi guys. Are we still in that serious zone, everyone? Introductions are over. We're done with a little bit of formal sessions, and we're now here for a lot of fun. Okay? The sad and worried faces in the first 5 rows give me a really scary picture. All okay, attendance is running fine? Yes, because the one thing that I know about students is that the only thing that scares them more than their parents taking away their smartphones is probably the fear of low attendance. And like Father said, I've been here where you are right now. We've always had this fear of, is my attendance there or should I be attending extra classes? Especially when you're managing a lot of other stuff. So one more time, I'm going to try this. Let's see if we've got some energy in the house. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. That sounds much better. So thank you so much everybody for having us here, and thank you ma'am for joining us. I'm going to now stop calling her ma'am because I think after what we've heard, it's fair to call you AK, is that right? So we're now going to start our session with AK, and I would like to begin by asking her, how are you feeling at this moment being here?
At this moment, I feel very, very, very nervous. I hope in the next 2 minutes I'll be fine. So guys, you need to help me out here. More than that, I do want to tell you how much joy I feel and how grateful I feel to be back here in a different platform. So yeah, I feel great.
Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for AK? Great. So my first question to you is, which comes from a very personal point of view. I've spent a lot of time trying to understand fashion and trying to get there, and I'm still working on it. But I think as a student and even now, my go-to thing is when I want to be fashionable and look good, I just choose black. Like, get a black attire and you feel like you're looking good. Guys in the house will probably agree. So what attracted you towards this entire world or universe of fashion?
It's an interesting question you asked me. I want to know who's not attracted to this interesting, glamorous world of fashion as it's perceived to be. I lucked out. I got into it by chance. I always used to sketch, and there were these fashion awards and I sent my sketches there. And all of a sudden, I mean, I was studying different things. I was a science student, studying, then I went into education, and suddenly I got a call. You need to be part of a fashion show. It's like, excuse me, I don't even know the spelling of fashion show. But I had to make these garments and participate in it, and just the sound of fashion was very exciting. So I started my journey just there. To start with, I need to share this with you, that I started with 6 garments and 6,000 rupees. And today, up to today, I have not really taken a single. I mean, there's been a lot of support around me, but today where we are, it started from there, and here is what it is.
Wow, I mean, that is so inspiring to know that
You started with almost having no idea about it and then moving towards your goals. When was the point when you realized that, okay, now I'm good at this? Because I think a lot of us experiment everything and we watch a very interesting movie and decide, okay, now tomorrow I'm going to be a cop. Or the day after Interstellar, we're like, okay, now NASA's next. So what time did you feel that, okay, you're good at fashion and this is something you want to pursue as a career in your life?
I don't think up to today I realized I'm good at it. It was just that one thing that when I made those 6 outfits, it just went into my system and I won that contest and I was invited to show at the Nationals. By then, I think I tasted blood. I felt I was born for it. I felt this is my nirvana, this is my ikigai, this is my calling in life, and that was it. I just started making, like it was a struggle. I didn't have any resources. I didn't have anyone to go to. I didn't even know a single tailor who could sew a garment. I myself didn't know what was a meter of fabric. But it just got inside me. And I know that, I don't know about being good or not, but I know the principle that when you spend 20 plus 22, 23, 4 years of your life from morning to night and night to morning doing the same thing, constantly learning, constantly experimenting and being so deep into it, somewhere or the other, you've got to be a little bit good. There's no option.
I mean, we can safely say that she is better than good at what she does. Can't we, guys? Yes?
She's not giving you a choice. Na to nahi bologe na.
I'm sure they agree with this because let's face it, you're a global brand and you have global fame. Do you still feel, because that's something I always am very curious when I speak to people like you, I want to know if there's still something you want to learn. Because a lot of us feel that, okay, once we've graduated, we've done our post-graduation, learning stops, we enter our careers, we start working, and then you're just working for the rest of your life. Do you feel that after becoming a global name, there is still something you want to learn?
Achita, it's very interesting you asked me this question. Of course, there's a long way for me to become like a big global brand. I know one thing in life, that the day I feel I've reached, my life will be over. There will be no journey. There will be no road to travel. There will be no growth. There will be no excitement. Today, every single morning that I get up, I think, okay, what am I going to do new? What am I going to create today? Every day that I go to my office, my designers are panicking that again she will say, guys, let's start again. So for me, that journey is a constant journey. I'm constantly feeling that this is not even the tip of the iceberg, that I know nothing, that in the field of fashion itself, it is so vast and it is so diverse that every day I'm discovering new things. Every day I'm feeling that I've made so many mistakes. You keep making those mistakes. Everyone thinks, oh my God, she's perfect, she knows everything, the clothes are so good and whatever. I know that every single day that I'm getting better every day because I'm constantly striving for it. I'm constantly learning. So yeah, it's the beginning of the journey, not the end of the journey. That's a long way to go.
Wow. You've talked about making mistakes, and on that note, I wanted to ask you about a little bit about failures. Because how many of you, be honest, okay, I'm hoping the professors are not here, too many, have received a supplementary in your exams? And I can raise my hand. Nobody? Yes, some of us?
Only one.
Only one? Are you serious?
Yeah,
wow. We have a real academic crowd. Okay, people are now talking. Should I say no, yes? So, okay, no, I'm not going to be asking you to raise your hands, relax, that was a trick question. But we all, do you agree that a lot of times in life, and you can be honest when you raise your hands about this, you're not sure where you're going and you fail at whatever you're trying. Does that happen anytime in your life? In sports, in college, in an exam, in an attendance? Yes? No? Yes. A few times. It will happen in sports. And even with your everyday, regular, weekly exams. So what happens when you at your level, okay, face anything to do with failure?
This happens every day, no? It's not about failure. It's about setting that goal and that journey to reach that goal and that struggle to get there. Sometimes And also the very fact that you're constantly in this panic that you're going to be judged. It's good, it's bad, good show, good clothes, good collection, bad collection. Or she's damn good, or she doesn't know what she's doing. It's an everyday process. It's just like the movies, right? Whether a film is good, whether the acting is good, every morning you're getting up and you're getting judged. It's the same thing that we go through. And that constant stress of not being good enough, of not having done enough. I've been through that journey. More than failure, I would think, if I may share with you guys, I don't know if it's a good time to share this, but I've been through a personal journey which it was a major health crisis that I went through, and how I reached there and what it is after that, I'll let Archita ask me a few more questions on it. But I lived my life with so much stress all the time. I was a human being that was like, please stay away from her. She must be stressed. She must be in a hurry. She must not have time. She must be like panicking, or she must be. This was what I did to myself. Lived my life under constant pressure. And the result of all of that, I went through this health crisis where I couldn't even form a sentence straight. I couldn't even walk straight. It took me a year to get out of it. So I don't know if it's a failure or if it's a recognition that we can't take ourselves for granted, however you might call it, but all of us at some point or the other go through this.
Wow, I think that's such a deep answer, and since you mentioned, I told you I'd want to know a little bit, dig a little deeper to know more about you personally, okay? And this brings me to that question of asking you, what is the biggest, I'm not going to say health challenge, but personal life challenge, which could be related to our physical health or mental health that you've been through? And I remember talking to you about it when you said you're comfortable discussing that. Not a lot of people are, especially when it comes to discussing about a point in their life where it's a weak point. It's a weakness, it's a point where they've been through something very difficult. So that journey where you were not at the best self, not at your best self, and you were weak maybe physically or mentally, what was that and how did you get through it?
This is what I was sharing, Archita, that this episode that happened in my life, I had multiple strokes in my head. And when I went through that, I have to tell you this funny story. So I was having these constant headaches, ignoring it. You know, you have a headache, you don't run to a doctor, you pop in a pill or you try and figure it out or whatever. And it was carrying on, and I was thinking, maybe I'm just too stressed out, I have too many shows, I have these films going on, I have these weddings going on, something or the other. When I travel, I'll change the air, I'll be fine, I'll change my food, I'll be fine. But it was constant. Anyways, I come back to Cal, I go to a neurologist, he sends me to do like a scan. Another doctor comes and he says, I booked a room in the hospital for you. You cannot go home. I'm like, what is he talking about? Nothing can happen to me. I went to work. I went to work. No, next day, no. Straight, I got up from the scan and I went to work.
Oh, wow.
The only reason I did that, because we always feel this can't happen to me. It must be happening to someone else.
I'm fine.
Yeah. And obviously, finally I had to get admitted, and finally the realization, and for the longest time, like I had mentioned, that I couldn't form my sentences properly. My left side was all over the place, I couldn't even take the steps correctly. My biggest, that moment that I felt that it's over for me, were the times where I couldn't design. I couldn't think of design. I couldn't even think properly. What would I think of design? And that was the time when I felt that this gift that God had given me, He had taken it away. And possibly I might say that those were the times that I changed my life. I turned it around, and today I'm here talking to you.
I mean, I just want to reiterate, okay, it's okay. Isn't that the line of your brand?
You know what it makes me realize? Any challenge that we go through in life, our mind is so powerful now. You just have to have it here, you will get through it. And that's what I believe in. There's nothing else.
So one thing that was driving you in that times of challenge, because when I think quite a few of us, including myself, when I go through a weak time, I lose all hope. I am constantly bugged down with only negative thoughts, with only negative. I only see the negative in everything. I stopped seeing something positive. What was that one thing that probably hooked you to, okay, now this is positive, I want to go with this? Because I find that very difficult to find when I am in a low zone or in a negative place.
I'm not going to deny that I didn't go through the low zone. For the longest time, even my neurologists were like, probably you need to take antidepressants or whatever. But he didn't let me take them. He made me fight not to take it and come out of it. That's another part of life. But I'm not going to say that I didn't have those thoughts. I actually felt that my life is over because I lived for design for like 20 plus years from morning to night, and that's what I strived for. But that one thing that I think kept me going was that I had managed to surround myself with love. You know, the people around me, my family, friends, you know, forget family and friends, they are there anyways. My entire work, my team, for 8 months I did not go to work. I did not even appear on the phone to give a straight answer that this is what we are going to be doing. They managed without me, and they kept telling me, ma'am, we're really bored, please come. But actually didn't allow me to go. They were bored because every day I go to office and I'm like, let's do something new. But they just ran it for me. This constant feed that they believed, the kind of messages that I got from people that they believed, and the fact that they were there for me. I think this surrounding myself with love and allowing myself to be actually letting that take over. I think that was one of the things that I did for myself in my life, which I actually feel grateful that I could surround myself with so much love.
So I think the advice would be to surround yourself with people who love you, your friends, family, team.
Actually, it's a give and take process, no?
Right.
How do you get surrounded with people who love you?
When you're there for people and you love
When you
them.
give it to them, and it's a process, right? It's give and take. Today, I'm sitting here and I'm going to share this with you. Before this episode, if I got this email that you need to come and address, you know, and you need to come and speak, I would have done it, thinking, yeah, I should do it. They've asked so many times, whatever. And in my mind, I'll be like, oh God, I need to do this. My work day will get spoiled. I don't have the time. How will I do this? I have to prepare this, that. Today I'm here. I was feeling joy in my heart. I was looking forward to it.
I saw that.
I was just like, you know what? I'm blessed. I'm here. You know, I'm going to have fun. And I actually told Archita, please don't make this into a boring lecture session. Let's just talk. Let's just have this conversation with everybody. And the fact that, you know, I'm going to go back, hopefully having many more friends in my repertoire, hopefully having a few over to have a cup of coffee in my store next door.
Wow.
Hopefully, you know, just connect with me, just reach out and just say, Anna, I want to speak to you.
And I want to speak to you.
Yeah, please call me.
I'm going to do that for sure. And I am in for that cup of coffee. Anybody here who's like to join us?
Yeah, please
Yes.
guys, just
We're not that
don't
boring,
say
guys.
no one, yeah, my heart will break.
No, they are actually worried if you are going to be. So they're thinking, no, this is not going to materialize.
It will
They're
materialize,
just talking. Yes, how many of you feel it's not going to materialize and just talking? That also they won't raise their hand. Yes, some of
Only,
you.
at
This
least-
guy is like, yes, ma'am. I really think you're bluffing for sure. Okay, no, we'll try and make it happen. Maybe another session where we can have coffee for everyone.
No, we'll
Yeah,
have
have it at
as
your
many
house.
sessions as you want. Yeah, come to my house, come on. Let's do this.
Done. So we'll probably end up at AK's house. That's going to be a stressful day. How do you dress to come to your house? No. Is that something that would bother
I'll give you a dress code to make it easy.
Okay. I will look forward to that dress code. And coming from a point where you just talked about having a lot of work stress, having a day that's of 28 hours and finishing that work in 24 probably. My question to you is, this is the millennial generation. Is it Gen Z or millennial? What am I supposed to refer? Because I always get... Sorry? Gen Z. This is the Gen Z. They're very... I was about to say millennial, but then yeah. They're Gen Z. They're super busy. They do not have time. And I know as a matter of fact, other than the assignments, other than the constant being updated on social media, going through Instagram and Snapchat and 5,000 other applications, and also being ready for their exams, they don't find time for anything. What is your advice to this Gen Z entering their work life or career, whatever occupation that they're going to get into? What is your advice? How do they manage time?
Guys, it's a simple mantra for me. You always have time for what you want to have time. People who come and tell me I don't have time, it irritates me. I mean, I refuse to believe that somebody doesn't have time at all. We are all super busy. At one point of time, I used to wake up at 3 a.m. Then I started waking up at 4. Now I wake up at 5 just to give my body that much more rest. But I find time for myself mentally, physically 2 hours a day. I manage my home. I have boys. I have a full family. I have more friends than all of you put together. I have a work life that you cannot imagine the madness of. It sounds like really glamorous. It sounds like, oh, she's a designer and it's the ramp and it's fashion. The truth is, I have to be on top of my game. I have to be an entrepreneur. I have to be a marketing genius. I have to change every single day my fashion. So I have to study constantly because every client comes and says, what else is new? I have to present 3 collections a year, sometimes 5 collections a year. I have to go through the stress of being judged for that collection. And now this new drama of social media and whatever, that doesn't end. I think I've forgotten 30,000 other things. The fact that I'm sitting on the addas and making new embroidery with my carigars, or I'm constantly sketching or I'm working with people, and then they come and tell you, oh, what's new in fashion? So I need to know, no? I can't come here and say, oh, I don't know, I didn't have time. I need to know. So that much at work, besides the fact that I've decided that I want to live a full life. I don't want to not be a good mom. I don't want to not be a good person. I don't want to not be able to experience things. I'm members of many organizations. I'm actively participating in all of those, and I still have time.
So, do
you know how much I study? At least 3 to 4 hours non-stop every day. For 24, 25 years, I'm doing it.
Okay, wow, that is a tough thing to do. After post-graduation, if someone told me you would have to study for that long, I would have opted out of that career. I'm like, I cannot study so much.
It's not study. It's learning, right? Because I love what I do. So it's a
there's
constant...
a lot of theory also.
Of course there's theory also, but it's like I want to do it. I love it. I just want to know as much as I can. And now my new thing has started. Besides fashion, I want to know everything else.
Wow, so you also want to know why Elon Musk is finally doing what he's doing?
100%. I want to know everything now.
Yeah, because that's the question. I never get to figure out that guy. And whenever I'm reading, there are 5 articles that are talking about 5 different things.
I'm his fan.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I've been an Elon Musk fan for a while now. Although I'm not being able to understand some of his decisions, but I trust him. Absolutely. Now, we are really talking about your life, and we're really talking about how you're managing your time, which to me is still very, very unbelievable, but you're doing it. I wanted to ask you this question about fashion. And I think it's a very important question for a lot of people. We think fashion is very expensive, number 1. Number 2, it's for a certain body type. Like you have to be of a certain height, of a certain weight, of a certain body structure to be truly fashionable, and that it's really expensive. I want to hear from you. Is that true in any way?
Today if you talk about body type, you'll be trolled.
No, I'm just trying to be honest.
Answering that question only. Because now, I'll share my story. You guys won't write about it, right? It's not going to appear anywhere.
No, we can. I'll share it.
Then I'll share it.
Yeah.
So talking about fashion. Fashion is not about clothes. Fashion is not about trends. Fashion is about a way of life. For me, that auto rickshawala wearing that knitted kanji and that scarf tied around his neck, whatever color, yellow and yellow, that is as fashionable as possibly somebody sitting in Milan and wearing this most glamorous whatever, and So it's a state of mind. It's being in that position of being fashionable in your own self. So I don't think fashion is something which is a point to prove. Yes, there are trends. You want to be in the game, so you follow trends, but it's a whole life. Secondly, I don't think this misconception that fashion is expensive, it's not true. I mean, like I say, it's how you present yourself, there are times where I will just wear a regular ganji and, just wear some pajamas and wear my sneakers and appear. Or like I was sharing with you, I appeared at a wedding wearing like a white kurta pajama and some jewelry and whatever, because I was, what's more important than what you're wearing is how you carry it off and how sure you feel. Sometimes I'm wearing this most important label, full top to bottom AK, full everything is perfect and not feeling okay. It's because I didn't appear in my face happy or confident. But the same thing, you wear anything or you feel okay about it. For me, that's more fashionable than being like a, body language.
Wow.
The other thing about this whole physical thing, that it is for a certain type of people, no, it's not true. It is for all of us. It is what we make out of it. It's what we take out of it. It's who we are, and that's what it is.
Wow. So I think what I can take away from your answer is that if we are confident enough to carry something fashionable and not worry about what other people have to think or comment upon it, we can be fashionable in
It's
our own
also
way.
inculcating a personal style. It takes time,
Okay.
You are born with a certain style, but when you inculcate something, you work on something, you develop something, you develop your personality as you keep going older. That's also part of this journey. It's the same journey.
Wow. So, what does it take to inculcate a style with respect to, say, if we are there, we usually only follow trends. I mean, for some of us, like you just mentioned, since you started talking about trends, we don't know where to go to inculcate our personal style. How does that journey start?
So it's a trial and error. It's not like you'll know in the first shot where to go. But when you, let's say, you choose a style which just doesn't work with you. It's like, suppose really short lengths are in trend and I want my mom to be really trendy. Imagine what's going to happen. It's going to be the opposite of fashion, right? It's going to be the opposite of style.
Yeah, I asked my mom to wear something like really denim shorts. I'll be homeless.
Yeah. I force my mother. Sometimes she wants to wear these fancy shirts and pants like you wear a sari. It's her personality. She's developed that personality and I respect her for it.
Yeah,
it doesn't come overnight.
She's also more comfortable, I think.
Yeah. And every time she's wearing a trouser, I thank God my mom is not here. She's pulling her kurta down. Imagine how, that's not nice, right? You got to be comfortable in what you're doing, in what you're wearing, and you got to be okay about it. I don't believe that fashion is expensive. And see, what we do is also expensive because the amount of work that goes into it.
Right, absolutely.
Of course, it's luxury, so it's a lot more. But yeah, fashion is not expensive.
Okay, so we've definitely taken that if we want to inculcate our style, we have to find it, use the trial and error method, and definitely feel confident about whatever we are wearing, and then see how it goes, right?
Try it, guys. If you enter a party, for example, feeling sure and happy, it shows on your face, other people will find that more comforting.
That is definitely true, and I think I always believed in the reverse theory. I'll be very honest with you. I always believed that when I'm wearing something good, it should give me confidence. But after speaking to you right now, I think it's the reverse. When I'm feeling,
it's not the reverse.
No?
Of course, when you're wearing something good and feeling good, it's amazing.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that just that wearing something good makes you feel amazing.
Okay, you have to have a balance of both. Okay, lesson learned.
You have to wear something good. You have to wear AK, man.
I like that. When we're talking about this field of fashion where you've been here for a while, and this might be a slightly sensitive question, but I still want to go ahead with it. Do you ever feel that in this day and age of social media, your designs are all out there and people are wearing it and it goes on shows, in the name of inspiration, do you ever feel that there's going to be plagiarism?
I don't fear it, I live it every day. I mean, I've reached a stage where I was at a dinner and a friend is wearing this outfit. And I'm like, it's my outfit, something is wrong, and she's a close friend. And I'm thinking she couldn't be wearing anything else because it's my outfit and something is wrong. When she came really close, as I'm getting older, I could see less and less, so I couldn't make out from a distance what the hell is going on. I'm not going to wear glasses and go to a dinner, no, and I don't even wear lenses. So I'm thinking, what is wrong, what is wrong, what is wrong? I realized it wasn't mine. It was a copy. I live it every day. There's a joke going on.
Close friend you're talking about?
She didn't know, poor thing.
Oh God.
And of late, we're facing this on an everyday basis. There are a lot of designers who are making very, very, very inspired styles. There are a lot of, there's copies everywhere. So at one point of time, I was getting bothered by it. Now I'm getting flattered by it. It's okay.
I like that. So now I'm like, she's like, now I'm getting flattered by it.
What to do?
Does it not
May as
scare
well
you?
take it as a compliment. No, it pushes me, no? So what happens sometimes, say for example, the dhoti pants. We literally invented the dhoti pants and we started making, the whole country was making dhoti pants. Now, I got worried about producing those dhoti pants because there was so much of it.
Right. We saw that all over, like everybody's wearing it. It came down to the stores.
It went to Zara. I saw it in Zara.
Right.
Eventually you take it as a compliment, but it also pushes you to take the next step because you've been there, done that. You can't do it anymore, now what next? So it's got its own pros and cons. And if you're not copied, you're not worth being copied, no?
Oh, I like that line, okay. And definitely is an inspiring line that if you're not getting copied, you're not worth being copied.
Yeah, if I'm not able to inspire, what's the point? So yeah.
That's such a positive outlook on it because some of us come from a place where if I make Maggie's secret recipe, I wouldn't want to share it with my friends because I'm like, no, this is especially my recipe and my mom does that a lot. If she's making something special and it tastes different, she'd be like, no, this is my recipe, I'm not going to give you the recipe. But being okay with the world taking up and probably getting inspired by you, what a positive outlook. Can we have a round of applause for that, please? I think that is absolutely brilliant.
I've not arrived here from day one. I've arrived here going through my agony and my angst. Oh my God, it's a copy. Oh my God, it looks like ours. Oh my God, this. I've been through it. The other day, one of our designers who was with us, she's taken her outfit, changed the label, put her name, and sent it for some whatever. And the other designer.
Competition, like.
No, it's our outfit. So one of the designers comes to me and like, what the hell? I have made this outfit physically and this can't happen. Like, I don't know, what difference does it make?
Wow.
So it's something that I've arrived to. I wasn't born like this. I've been through my agony.
So when we're talking about agony, I think we have to talk a little bit about social media, right? And you've been in a place where there wasn't a lot of social media when you started off. And today there is social media everywhere. How do artists, personalities like you deal with it and what is your personal take on social media? I am really inquisitive about that bit. What is your personal take on social media?
Guys, the spelling of social media is agony.
It's so new. Okay.
So the thing is, you can't do with it, you can't do without it. I'm talking about my generation, okay, people like us. My boys clearly told me, you leave it. It's not your cup of tea. But they've also told me clearly that if we don't have a social media following and if we don't do all of this, then the next generation or the generation after will not consider us relevant. Today, the first thing you see is, how many followers? How much pain is that? Today, the first thing you do, I have so many of my so-called fashion friends, celebrity friends, whatever, they will go to a party, they'll take a picture, post it, leave.
That actually happens.
Yeah, totally. So many of you must be doing it. I do it sometimes. That I have to leave. That's social media. So on a serious note, when I started out, there was not even a mobile phone. I sound ancient, right? So there was not that kind of information constantly. When I started, I didn't know what the other designers are doing in Delhi because I couldn't see what they were doing unless I physically took a flight and went to Delhi and went to a store where those 6 big wigs were selling, and that's how I knew. What happened at that time is because there was not enough information. I was forced to create from scratch. I was forced to be original. I was forced to do my own thing because there was nothing else. Today what is happening, and this is something that I'm going to almost share as a piece of advice as well, because there is so much constant information. There is constant design. I'm talking about design right now. There is so much design constantly. It's hammering on your head on an everyday basis. Everyone knows what everybody is doing. Everybody is constantly barraged by it. Where is the time to think? How do you create originally? Today, I choose not to go and check my Insta. I don't even know what my Facebook in like 6-7 years.
Yeah, a lot of people have done that.
I don't even know what is my password.
Almost.
Not just that, even Instagram, I refuse to go on it because I know that the minute I start scrolling, the minute I see what other people are doing, what other designers are doing, what is happening in the rest of the world in fashion, what are the new things that other people have done, knowingly, unknowingly, it seeps into my design. Then how do I create something new? It's not possible.
How difficult is it to keep yourself off something that everybody is talking about?
I'm not saying I'm like totally off that I don't know anything, but I will not let that take over my life.
Okay.
I'm going to share something, my last couture that we did and the one that I did before that. And I'm sitting and observing from the back, most people, and this is actually sad, nobody's watching the show. You know what everyone was doing?
Recording and clicking pictures.
Just so that they could post. It's like you've not observed, the amount of heart that goes into producing that show. You're not watching it. You've not enjoyed that moment. You've lost that moment taking a video because you want to post it. It bothers me. It does bother me. So yeah.
And I mean, I'm just being honest with the presence of so many filters. People look different in their photographs. Clothes
and
are of
that
course,
pressure.
Definitely there.
No, that pressure that a
It's going to
lot
look
of
different.
people are creating designs not for the love of design. They're not creating design for the sake of design. How it will look on a picture.
And with the presence of the filters, do you feel that the colors change and the look comes different?
Don't you feel that pressure of living that life of someone else? Of wanting to look like someone else? Of wanting, that constant pressure?
Absolutely.
How do
I
you-
honestly feel it's difficult to go somewhere, enjoy a moment, and then not see someone posting about it.
Exactly.
You go to a place where there's live music, people are not listening to the music, they're just making videos, and it will be up on their story, having a great weekend, having a great Sunday. I understand when it's a special occasion. For example, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Of course, I have met Anamika Khanna, AK, so I will put a picture, but I'm going to put one picture, and I will probably take it with you after the event, which is also like just letting you know. But I'm not going to be sitting in the audience where I was listening to someone, probably taking videos, because I also come from a time where we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have keypad phones. You press 7 like 5 times to get M that time. But I do feel that this pressure of constantly being active, knowing that people are watching you, is a lot to take, and it becomes difficult to keep up with. Having said that, the idea of social media in a positive way for the younger generation, do you think it also motivates them to be able to become better versions because people are watching, or do you think it's only pressure?
No, it's both. I'm not going to take away from the advantages of social media. Everyone is connected to one another. At one point of time, to connect to somebody sitting in America almost felt like you're going into some other planet only. Now it's just like that. Like, the other day I'm on a call with somebody who's sitting in Sicily, just having a complete conversation without knowing the person, but just connecting. So that power of social media, one can't take away. But I feel that if you use it in a way that it's not affecting you, affecting your mind, and making you lose who you are, wanting to be like someone else, wanting to live somebody else's life, then I think it's got a lot that you can learn from. You can grow strength to strength. It can really help. It can help you build a brand. It can help you sell what you do. It can help you sell ideas. It can help you reach out to audiences that you could have never imagined. So there's a lot to take there, but as long as you know where to stop.
Wow, I think we're going to use that information a lot. And I hope it's okay. We just had a conversation where you shared something. And I think the students would really benefit from this question. That you studied science for a part of your life, then you switched on to something else, and today you're a designer, you're in this zone of creativity. A lot of people here probably, I have been through that journey. I studied commerce, and then I studied communication, and then I moved, and today I'm a soft skills trainer. What if a lot of these people, a lot of the younger generation today is studying something but is not sure if that's going to become their career? There is that fear that, okay, I am doing management, but I might want to be a designer, I might want to be a choreographer, I might want to get into rapping or any other field. Do you think that transition is easy, or do you think that transition requires something special that you've done?
Which transition is easy? When you're reaching somewhere or when you're achieving something and people feel that you're successful and it looks really easy, honestly, when people look at me, I have a colleague who passed a very weird comment. She was like, "Oh, you two don't need to do anything. Everything gets done for you." It's like, excuse me? Do you know how hard I have worked for 22 years and how hard I work today? It feels that it's easy for other people. No transition is easy for anyone. To actually make a decision of what your life is going to be, what your career is going to be, obviously there are going to be so many thoughts that you go through. There's so many challenges. Your parents want you to do something else. You want to do something else. I wanted to be a dancer.
Wow. Okay.
I want to be an Indian classical dancer. My parents were like, "What, are you mad?" I mean, this happened. I got really lucky. It got into my system and I realized I'm born for it. But it doesn't happen to everyone. The only thing I know, live whatever you do completely with conviction. Follow it, follow it, follow it. Don't be half-hearted. Don't say that I'm studying management, I want to be a rapper because it's glamorous to be a rapper. Don't do it because someone else is a rapper and you feel that you should be one, because there's that pressure that your friend is a rapper and he's damn good or she's damn good and making lots of money. I also want to do it. I don't think that works. What works? I want to be a rapper because I'm dying for it. I will give everything I've got for it. Then go be a rapper. Leave your management. That's what I believe in.
Wow, I really think following your passion is difficult, but the way you put it is do it with conviction. I think that's an advice that can help a lot of us. And now I'm going to go to all of you. Guys, are we ready to ask AK some questions?
Should I be scared?
No, I think they're all very friendly.
Guys,
very nice.
before you open up, there's one more thing that I really want to share. I'm just going to take 2-3 minutes because I really feel that you might be able to take something home from here. I went through that phase of my illness and I decided that I'm going to change a few things about my life, which I know that as young students, as kids, as your generation, you all feel that your bodies are what they are, what they will be for the rest of your lives. Trust me, it needs a lot of care and a lot of attention, physical attention to yourself. I wake up in the morning, I do yoga, meditate, I run. I am so mindful about what I put into my system. Everyone thinks I was born this way physically. I really work hard, and I know that if you don't look after your bodies, if you don't look after your mind, and if you're constantly stressed, and if you don't enjoy yourself, and this way of enjoying yourself, the only way it happens when you're in the moment 100%. in anything that you do, you will love it. Just try it for one day. Whatever you do, leave your phone for that moment. Be in that moment and you will see that change. But physically, mentally, don't take yourself for granted. I took myself for granted. I almost lost everything I had worked for. I lost everything. And I've come back from it realizing that I actually work 5 times more now. Everyone is shocked by me. I did 3 major shows in July in 1 month. I couldn't do 3 shows in a year. And I loved every bit of it. All the 3 shows were like mega successes because I was enjoying myself.
And what were those changes? If you could be a little more specific and tell us that, okay, the AK so many years ago didn't do this, but the AK today does it.
Junk food, guys. I mean, when you're hungry, don't eat a pizza.
Okay. I mean, that's hard for some of us.
How
But
hard
we're
is
going to
it?
try it.
It's that moment where you feel good, but see the results after.
Okay, so
I
junk food is
really
one of the
feel
things.
when you are feeling great physically, when your body, tell me how many of you feel amazing when your bodies are in good shape? Some of you don't. Come on. All of us, right? The minute I lose that little bit extra, I'm feeling amazing because my clothes are fitting me better.
Yeah.
How? It's not going to come for free. That's the one thing. The second thing is when your mind is sharp, when your mind is strong, how do you feel? That you can achieve anything?
Absolutely. It's a whole, I can do this today attitude.
When you're physically fit, your mind is strong.
Right.
And when your mind is strong, you're physically fit. It's not going to come for free.
So it is going to come at the price of being mindful of what you put into your system and being mindful to put the effort to take care of it. Is that what
How
AK
many
does
days
today?
does a habit take to form?
21, right?
Exactly. What is 21 days? Nothing.
I could hear that. So some of you say something? 3 weeks, okay. So 21
Well,
days.
it's nothing. It's nothing. Imagine the change it brings in your life. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow. So thank you, and I think all of us have probably noted that we are going to be more mindful of ourselves and how we go ahead in future. Guys, are we ready to take some questions? Yes? Yeah, okay. Please go ahead.
Towards your right. Yeah, right. At the back. Thank you for the session. First of all, it was very nice. I had this question that the fact that you went from 6 clothes at 6,000 to the luxury brand that AK is today, was it like a planned out direction that you had undertaken, or is it today that when you look back, you join the dots and you say, okay?
For me, it was organic. It was not planned at all. It was just one thing after the other that kept happening. The only one thing I knew I was doing is honest, absolutely honest design, which I worked on non-stop. But for me, it was organic. From one store to another store, to the third store, to fashion weeks, to more stores, to my own store. But nothing was planned.
So like, if you're coming from a non-fashion background that you are, so, you know, positioning yourself in a way that makes you the brand today,
How did it happen? That is, I think I'm going to complete that
It
sentence.
took me 22 plus years to come here. It's not happened overnight. I've always believed that success does not come overnight. Today that fast success, fast money comes and it goes as fast. But for me, it's been this non-stop journey that I have navigated, I have learned, I have lost, I have failed, I have succeeded. This building of this brand has taken also a lot out of me. You know, also the very fact that, you know, how you deal with your clients, what you believe in your brand, it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to, also there is a very big difference. When I started out, everyone or everything was not a designer. Today, literally, even anything outside, even an ice cream is a designer. I can't understand what is a designer ice cream. So times have changed. It's much more competitive now. Today, going out without having the knowledge or without having enough information is very, very challenging. When I was starting out, I was able to make mistakes because we were all making mistakes. So yeah, it's a tough time. It's much tougher if I had to start out right now. But that one thing that I've always believed in, that just keep at it, and somewhere or the other it will happen. Which is what I still do. I'm just at it because I know again somewhere or the other it will happen. The next thing will happen.
Oh,
Thank you,
so. And thank you for your question.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, I think we've got one raise of hand this side. Could we have? Okay, after that gentleman, we'll come to you.
Hi, my name is Krish. Ma'am, my question was.
Today we decided it's AK and not ma'am.
Yes, we decided at the beginning, right?
So, my question is more on how do you gel the creative side of your business with the finance of it? So what I mean is, you started like as she said that you started with a few garments and now you're here. So you said that it's your creative calling and ikigai. And how did you learn business of the fashion? When the fashion designer is considered, there are contracts, deals, shows considered. There is a economics and the market. How did you learn from the get-go? And now obviously you have your team managing it. So what is the dialogue that goes in?
I'm almost scared to answer this question, but design for me and
Money and economics.
somewhere. It's something that I run away from, the business part of it. I've always run away from it. It's not like I don't know it, because I have built my business. But the very fact that I delved so deep into design, I think I may have neglected that business side quite a bit initially. I must have got cheated at least 8 or 9 times in my life, big time. Not in small ways, because I was not paying attention. Until I managed to, I had a lot of help. Eventually my father got so fed up, can't even pay her taxes properly, he doesn't know what to do. I've been through that, and then I realized that if my strong point is design, I need to get better people to do my accounts. Why should I do it? So now that balance, much more help. I mean, my boys are there, everyone's there. But that thing I got smart about quite early. That my strength is my design. I don't want to waste my time. What they do better than me. The business side.
You interested the people who are more equipped to do it.
But you have to, like I said, you got to know what they are doing. Well, I told you I got taken for a ride so many times. I'm ashamed about it.
Thank you so much, AK.
Thank you for that question. We had someone here raising their hand. Yeah.
Hi ma'am, hi AK, Aditi here. So basically I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give the 20-year you if she was from our generation, a Gen Z kid?
Aditi had.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in a position to give advice, but the only thing I would do if I was 20 again is work without stress. I would learn to love what I do, learn to love that moment and work without stress. That's the only thing I make in my life. I would understand what life is about, why we are born, what we're meant to do, much better than what I did when I was 20. I was trying to prove a point. I don't know to who, but I was struggling. And today, that same difference is that I'm not trying to prove a point to anybody. Today, my biggest competition is me. I have to prove it to myself and not, and that's what I would do.
Thank you, Aditi. Thank you so much for asking that question. Yes. Do we come to this gentleman here?
Good evening, ma'am.
No,
Good evening, AK. I'm Vishnu. Ma'am, my question for you is, ma'am, fashion industry being a dynamic industry, ma'am, what were the qualities you think that helped you become a successful fashion designer today?
Vishnu, thank you. I think success is relative. I, I don't think I'm going to call myself successful or not successful, but the qualities are very simple. Number one, honesty in design. Number two, knowing your roots. You know, I went international and I sold in almost 140 stores with Anamika. The only thing that worked was knowing where I came from. I was not trying to be someone else. I was trying to be me and get a part of me out there, and that worked for me. The third thing is constant hard work. There is no short steps to success. There is nothing. And you know, a lot of times, like it happens even like a few times now, I want to give up. I'm like, what am I doing this for? I'm so tired and whatever. But I feel that there is no. Imagine if I didn't have this, what would my life be? But I have this because I've given so much of it, of myself into it. So yeah, there's no short steps to anything. So it's hard work. Honesty is one thing that I will not compromise. Nobody can challenge my design and say this is not original, or nobody can come and say she's inspired. Nobody can come and say it's not okay, because I will give my heart into it fully.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you so much for that question. Yes. I think we've got two questions, one right in front and one at the back. So can we help him, please? Team, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, AK and Akshi here. So my question is, so your label is all about finding your own personal style and having the dream and vision to express it to the world. So have there been any instances where you were self-conscious, and if yes, what advice would you give to the audience to overcome their insecurities?
Inakshi, hi. There's been many times where I've questioned myself. Many times that I've been insecure. I'll give you an example. See, initially, when Fashion Week started, you know, the first Fashion Week that happened in India, I was going from Calcutta. This was like a village, there was no design, there was no designers. We were like that only. And there, that was Delhi and Bombay. And at that time, Delhi and Bombay was like Delhi and Bombay, right? Or you come from Cal, you must be a Bhenji. It was like that. At that time, my first Fashion Week, or my second Fashion Week, I was invited for a 3 designer show. Then again, I was invited for a 3 designer show because they thought I was not capable of a solo show and all of that. You know, that insecurity of knowing whether you're doing the right thing, whether you're showing the right thing. What I started doing, I started literally eating trends for breakfast. I used to read trend books as if I'm going to die without them. I used to just be so insecure just to be on top of the game, to know what's the next thing, to know what's the right thing so that nobody can challenge what I'm doing. I've been through it. And slowly, it's taken me a lot of time, lot of conviction, lot of work to be instinctive and have the courage. And that's the biggest thing, that when you feel so insecure, and if you find a really close friend or somebody who you trust and you can talk about it, and the minute you talk about it and you share it with somebody, things start changing. So that's what I started doing. I started talking about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anakshi. Thank you for that question. I think we had one question at the back. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Amisha. So I had one question. In 2022, hustle culture is very prevalent. Everyone is always hustling. So do you think that's toxic or do you think that's really good? Because I think once, even if you blink for a minute, things go by really fast. People are working day and night, and if you take a step back, you realize you're not doing anything and you're always worried that you're not enough.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Amisha.
Amisha. So, Amisha, you know, people are working day and night. I work day and night. I don't stop. I'm constantly on it. I'm also hustling a lot of times. But the same thing I do with that love. You know, it's almost like I found love again in my life. I do it with joy. I do it in a way that I'm enjoying it. Even that hustle, even that hard work. You know, there are times, like say my workout, right? There are times when I'm telling my trainer I need a stretcher. it's so tough. But at the same time, I'm loving it. Same thing with work. There are times like right now, I have to deliver a collection in 10 days and show it on the ramp and starting from scratch. And I'm just like working like all Sunday yesterday. I woke up at 5 and I got up literally from my desk at 12 in the night because I was working non-stop because I have to deliver that collection. But at the same time, I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel like I'm dying because of it because I decided to love that process.
So the thing is, often you're working and you miss really important things other than work in your life, right? Maybe something with family or friends. Do you think that you regret that, or are you okay with it at this point?
You can't have everything. That's one thing for sure which I have learned. There are a lot of times when all my friends are partying, they're having fun. There are a lot of times where I've missed important events. There are a lot of times I can't do. I don't remember I have gone to a movie for God knows how long. I don't remember having just gone for a casual dinner just like that because I don't have the time for it. But then I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you also. No? You can't have everything. Somewhere or the other, you've got to tell yourself that you have to know what are your priorities. Was it that important for you to have gone to that party? Or was it more important to have stayed fresh and done that collection and gone on the ramp?
Thank you.
You decide your priorities.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Amisha. I just wanted to add something to that, taking from what you're saying. So far, you've always told us, in this entire interaction, that you love your work. So if Amisha is asking us that can hustling get toxic, I think for you it cannot because you love your hustle.
Hustling can get toxic for anybody. Sometimes there is a lot of pressure. But then I've always felt that there are tools that the mind uses. Like I do yin yoga. The minute I do that practice for 15-20 minutes, I find myself centered again. It's not like I don't fall in the trap.
Okay, so even if you love your work,
oh my God, I'm dying. How do I make this collection? How can I do it in 10 days? Guys, I don't know what to do. So let's start again. It's all really rubbish that I've designed. I go through it. But it's up to me how I come back from it. I'm not like some, saint from somewhere. I will go through it.
So hustling can be toxic even if you love your work.
Yeah, 100%. But like I said, that how you pull yourself out is what is more important than the hustle or the toxicity itself.
Wow, that I find very, very wise, and thank you for sharing that wisdom with us. Yes.
Hi, AK, Anisha here. So my question is, at which point in your life did you realize, that this was it? This needs to be done if I want to reach a particular level of a success.
Anisha, I don't think there was one point in my life where I realized this was it. The one point when I realized this was it, when I made those first 6 things, that's when I knew that this is what I was born for. But throughout my life, I think it's always been, this is it. I feel like if I'm born again, I'll still be making clothes. I feel like, earlier people tell me, you've done enough, why are you working so hard, whatever. I feel on my last, I have to tell you this weirdest thing. When Viraj and Vishesh were born, I was giving instructions from the hospital about how much fabric has to come. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't stop. It's just something that goes on. I think when I die, I want people to say that she's dead, now there are no clothes to wear. So, it's how much you want it to be yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Yes, we have one more question this side.
Hi ma'am, this is Paridhi. My question to you is that you've been in the fashion industry for a very, very long time and you started from scratch and you were purely original as you said. So who was your inspiration? Who inspired you to be who you are today? And did you ever imagine you would become such an internationally renowned designer? Everybody would know of you. Thank you.
I don't think I'm still there.
That's humility.
That's a long way to go. I'm telling you, I really feel this every day. I don't know what everybody thinks, but I feel like my journey starts every single day. That's a different, it's kind of mad, but that's what it is. In terms of inspiration, I want to share a small story, which all of us go through at some point in our lives, right? When I was younger, and my mom, she was a perfectionist. She would make me do my chemistry file again, the handwriting was not okay. She would make me do my needlework 3 times because one cross was wrong. All my friends were getting their needlework done from somewhere. She would make me wake up and rehearse my dance so that I would be perfect. She would make me, make these chapatis round like 1,000. Why? Because they are not round enough. I used to hate everything. I used to hate her. I was like, what is she doing to me? I want to go out and party. My curfew is 8 o'clock so I can get up in the morning and start doing handwriting practice. That was my life, and 9 o'clock I have to eat fruits, I can watch only this, I can do only this. It was a very tough life, but today, how much we allow ourselves to be affected by that judgment. I'm judged every single day. But if I keep thinking that somebody is going to judge me, see, I'll give you a small example. Our last couture show. Normally in a couture show, all the designers, everyone wants to show the lehengas and the saris and things that sell because you want to increase your business and it's safe and you want to show all the glamour of it and do these big things and cans and stuff like that. This July, I did my show. I went 180 degrees opposite. I did everything that I was not supposed to do. I did these very heavily embellished embroideries, took a pair of scissors and shredded each one of them. And I put it out there as my collection. I knew I was going to be judged. It was possible that I don't sell a single piece. It was possible that the press writes me off. But I went with conviction and I went with my heart and I did that, and actually the opposite happened.
Ma'am, but we could be lying to ourselves right now, but the judgment affect us somehow.
Of course they will affect you.
Yeah,
how will they not affect you? But you got to have that faith in yourself. If it doesn't affect you, then you've already reached somewhere else. Then you don't need to be asking me this question. Do you understand what I'm saying? We will go through this process. But as you grow up, of course, you've been through it so many times that it affects you less. But when you're much younger, you're being constantly... My only advice is, if you learn to love yourself, if you have faith in yourself, if you trust yourself, and you are in that position of constantly making mistakes but rising from that mistake and learning again, you are okay about it. You will be judged, 100% you will be judged. You will be affected by it. How can you not be? It's okay. All of us are judged. Tell me one person over here who's like out of it and say, no, I'm fine, I'm not judged. Everyone goes through it, it's okay.
Thank you so much, AK.
Thank you for that question. Yes, we have one question this side. No, that mic's not working. Can't hear you.
Can I ask a question like this?
Yeah. I'll say it out for the audience to hear.
I was actually just going to ask you about your collection. So like you said, it was very different from your last time's collection, and you said that your press might write you off. So where did you get the courage, to do something so different from your previous collections?
I think I was.
So the question was, just for all of you, where did AK get the courage to do something so different, knowing there's a possibility of the press writing you off?
And not just that, like where did you get the inspiration to do something so different from your previous collections?
Courage I've always had. From day one, I have never followed the beaten track, I think. I've always constantly experimented. The day I messed with the sari, when I did the pan sari, I might have got killed for it. But I had the courage, I went for it, and actually it changed the
game altogether. I mean, this is a collection where we're talking about the sari being combined with trousers and pants, and that collection inspired that entire zone of sari being worn in a fashion with belts, trousers, everything.
Yeah, so courage I've always had. I've never been scared of putting myself out there because I know that if I don't do it, I'll regret it. And this inspiration that we talk about, this inspiration actually, a lot of times as a designer, when you do something with your heart and when you're true, where is she vanished? Who am I answering to?
She's here.
She's sat down and couldn't see.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. When you're designing from your heart, sometimes your inspiration is the emotional journey that you're going through. For me, this collection was about reinvention and letting go. Letting go of my past, letting go of what I went through health-wise and mentally, and finding myself again. And that was the point I was making. So literally I was shredding everything. And
Yeah, the shredded couture, that's what they call
exactly.
it.
They actually call it the shredded couture, so kind of mad. But yeah, it was letting go of a lot of things. It was about rediscovering, it was about reinventing, and that's what I was going through in my heart.
So just one last thing is, so your previous collection was for bridal wear. So where would you expect your customers to wear the current collection?
You'll be surprised. I was at this wedding and people were wearing it.
That's great.
Somebody
That's really
wore
amazing.
the whole silver shredded coat at a wedding. I myself wore a shredded pantsuit for the mehendi with Indian jewelry, full bindi, everything. But it was a shredded pantsuit. And like I said, if you have conviction, people buy it. The more I do it, the better it is. The more courage I have, the better it is for my brand. So I'm getting more and more bold.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you for those questions, and thank you for that wonderful, wonderful answer.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes. Is that you signing off? Yeah. So before that, I just want to say one thing. Guys, I think all of us can agree, and I say this on behalf of everyone here, that this interaction with you has been inspiring. It has been an eye-opener for me personally, and I'm sure for many of us here. And it's given me this image of you probably being as one of those phoenixes who's probably risen from the ashes. And thank you so much for sharing that beautiful, inspiring story of your journey, because we now know that, okay, we probably might be feeling low at one point in our life, but it's important to have the conviction, courage to rise up and take care of ourselves and be who we are without worrying. So I think all of us, me included for sure, I promise to be okay and definitely be okay with AK. So thank you so much. Round of applause for AK.
Thank you so much. It is not just an honor, but I truly feel like I've opened my heart out today.
A very good evening to Father Principal, Father Vice Principal, members of the Advisory Committee, all the dignitaries present here, respected professors, faculty members, participants, and all students of St. Xavier's College, Autonomous, Kolkata. As we conclude this session, I would like to thank our esteemed speaker, Mrs. Anamika Khanna, for providing such an insightful session to enlighten the young minds. Engaging with you in person was indeed an enriching experience for each one of us. We sincerely appreciate you taking out time from your busy schedule for us today. Ma'am, your knowledge will be both beneficial and motivating to our audience. I would also like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our respected moderator, Mrs. Archita Tiwari, for her invaluable contribution and smooth moderation of today's session. Thank you so much for being a part of the session, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Shupriyo Patra, Deputy Vice President of the Xavier's Management Society, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to respected Father Principal, Father Vice Principal, respected Dean Sir, and most importantly, a Professor in charge of the Xavier's Management Society, Dr. Shukana Circle ma'am sitting on the front row. Last 1 hour, I think it was a journey for life. And for first year students who have joined BMS and maybe commerce and other discipline, what we are going to expose ourselves for 3 years, I think within last 1 hour we experienced it in front of our eyes. And I think for that we just can't express with words. I think we need to put our hands together for none other than Mrs. Anamika Khanna ma'am. So thank you very much ma'am. On behalf of the Xavier's Management Society, I'm honored and privileged to convey our sincere gratitude to you. And I think I was also present here and I could relate. I think thank you very much for finding time, and I think you have ignited the young minds. So you have really ignited their lamp. Thank you so much, ma'am. When we talk about the session. I think I'm a man from the advertising world, and I cannot imagine a 1 hour talk show without a break. But I think credit goes to 80, if I can call you and take that liberty. Madam Archita Tiwari, please put your hands together for ma'am also for making the session a wonderful one. I think thanks so much. So I think we all enjoyed it, and it would not have been possible without the blessings of Father Principal. So I would like to specially thank Father Principal, Reverend Dr. Dominic Xavier SJ, for Father's blessings and guidance. Somebody, I think, whenever we have requested for anything, he has been there for us. Our own Father Vice Principal, Reverend Father Peter Arokium, sitting here. Thank you, Father, for all your blessings and guidance. And I think the most important thing is Father's inspiration. He has always said, please go ahead. So that's, I think, will keep the society moving forward. Thank you very much, Father. Whenever in doubt, I think we can just go straight and connect with Dean Sir, our respected Dean Sir of the department, Professor Shaugato Banerjee. Thank you very much, sir, for all your cooperation and support. We are lucky and fortunate to have an able leader in Dr. Sukanya Circle. More of a friend, philosopher and guide rather than the professor in charge. So I think please put your hands together for Dr. Sukanya Circle, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful leadership and excellent guidance. The backbone of the department happens to be all the professors. I think irrespective of whether they are from BMS or maybe from other department, wherever they are coming and helping all of us. Please appreciate all the professors of the BMS department for their wholehearted support and cooperation. The backbone of this kind of a program happens to be the effort of the support staff. So the support staff of our entire department, by name we can say Manoj sir, Alok sir, and I think Shubhrato sir and the entire team. Thank you very much everybody for your cooperation and support. Every year, Father always reminds us that Xavier's Management Society is going from strength to strength. And I think before coming for this program, we had last year's one of the joint secretary present, Navya. If you are there, I'm not sure still, but I think she has been here to motivate and encourage her junior. So nice of her. Thank you, Navya. And the joint secretary this time, please put your hands together for Drishti and Tanishka, please. I think they, along with the entire team, in this challenging time, putting off an offline show, I think it cannot be better than this. So I think morning says the do, and I think today is the first program for this academic session, and I think wonderful. Thank you, Xavier's Management Society. I think you have pulled it off very well, and we are looking forward to many more events like this in future. Last but not the least, I think for 1 hour or so, I think time flew like minutes. I think so for that, I think you yourself needs to appreciate, and I'll do that for the audience. So wonderful audience, I think. Thank you very much for those lovely interactions and wonderful questions that you have put before ma'am. Thank you so much once again, ma'am. If by mistake I forgot anybody, please pardon me. But I think thanks goes to everybody and anybody. Thank you for this opportunity, and I really think it's an honor and privilege. Thank you very much. Looking forward to more of your presence in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to call upon Father Vice Principal, Dean Sir, Shukanya Ma'am and Supriyo Sir to come up on stage to felicitate our speaker and moderator, Mrs. Anamika Khanna and Archita Tiwari. I would request Father Vice Principal to felicitate Mrs. Anamika Khanna. Now I would
would request Father Vice Principal to felicitate our moderator for the day, Mrs. Archita Tiwari. Before we move towards the closing ceremony, I would request the entire board of the Xavier's Management Society to come up on stage to have a picture with the guest of honors. I would request our dignitaries to please take a seat in the audience. And I would request Father Vice Principal to say a few words and then finally announce the winners of X-Genesis 2022.
No, ma'am, I'm absolutely good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So pretty. Thank you.
A very good evening to all of you, especially the honorable dignitaries, distinguished faculty members, staff members, members of the advisory committee, participants, and my dear students. Especially a warm welcome, I call it, or thank you, appreciation to the freshers. Feel one with the Xaverian family. Acting as a stepping stone into the uncertainties of this corporate world and to guide them confidently and completely through their college adventure filled with learning and wonderful experiences. X-Genesis is curated exclusively for the first-year students of the college. Students have countless opportunities to showcase their skills through this 4 days of corporate simulation. I believe all of you had a very good experience which will remain with you forever. In addition to evaluating their business acumen, the rounds inculcate within them crucial abilities like time management, teamwork, communication, and problem solving, thereby preparing them for a managerial career in future. It was a delight to see the society organize its first offline event after 2 years and to have first-year students from all departments participate with such zeal and engagement and devotion. It is so much so there are students even sitting in the RK hall and watching it live, which was arranged at the last moment with the permission from Father Principal, for which we are really grateful to Father and for all those who helped at the last moment. Thank you very much. This year, we had the privilege of having 2 acclaimed speakers. Mr. Ankur Wariku, an internet entrepreneur and the best-selling author. And just now, we finished an enthralling session of more than an hour with Mrs. Anamika Khanna, moderated by AD, as Professor said. So, I need not give more about these persons, who both actually captivated us all with their motivational words and encouraging words, fueled by their unwavering desire to fulfill their responsibilities to the society, helping us to take our event, tread the path towards greater heights. I want to thank the entire team of Xavier's Management Society, mentored by Professor Sukanya Sakkal and Professor Supriya Patra, for organizing this event so flawlessly and being the beacon of knowledge for the first years. Let us put our hands for both the mentors. We are honored to have a group of students who are so proactive, devoted, and full of enthusiasm towards the workings of these joint secretaries of the Xavier's management societies. Particularly, I take this moment to congratulate Drishti Podar and Tanishka Agarwal, the joint secretaries for 2022-23 of the management society. Also, the entire board under whose leadership the guidance the society has reached greater heights and set new benchmarks. For all of them, let's put our hands together. I would also like to appreciate the working committee members whose incessant efforts and determination have resulted in the grand success of our event. I also want to express my gratitude to all the attendees for their enthusiasm, participation, and encouraging way of asking questions so that the others also could ask in the future, which were crucial for this year's X-Genesis 2022, a successful one. The moment everyone has been waiting for all day is here. I would like to declare the winners of X-Genesis 2022. Regardless of the outcome, we must keep in mind that both success and failure are a part of life. Every failure teaches us to rise up again, to move ahead. And every success gives us energy, a greater energy to achieve more things. The secret to success is, as someone says, it's a failure, not failure in a sense that you go down, because you have fallen, you will rise again. So therefore, and the most important part of life is to keep learning throughout our life, because everything we call it, this is a process. Nothing is an end till the last breath. Everything is a process, so therefore take it that way. Every day, every next day is going to be part of your life. So having said this, I would really encourage each and every one of you, those who have not made it this time, for next adventure that you are going to meet in your life. With this, let me announce the winners of X-Genesis 2022. Starting with the second runners-up, Raymond Moore and Rayma Chatterjee. We also invite now announcing first runners-up, Divyansh Kandilwal and Ved Kempa. And the winners of X-Genesis 2022, Parikshit Agarwal and Ved Bhandara. So congratulations to all the winners. I hope that all the participants had a wonderful experience, because this is what we carry is our prizes, but what we carry forever is the experience that we have had for the last 4 days, my dear students. Have a great experience in your lives.
I would now request Dr. Sukanya Sarkhel and Dr. Supriyo Patra to come up on stage and reward our winners. I would also request Professor Shaugato Banerjee, Dean of Department of Management Studies, to come up on stage. Our second runner-ups, Revant More and Raima Chatterjee, get certificates and gift hampers. Our first runner-up, Divyansh Khandelwal and Ved Khemka, also get certificates and gift hampers. Finally, I would like Dean Sir and Father Vice Principal to hand over certificates, gift hampers, a paid internship, a trophy, a cash prize worth Rs 5,000 to our winners Parikshit Agarwal and Veer Bhandara. Thank you and congratulations to all the winners.
So once again, let's put our hands together.
Congratulations, winners. I would now like to call upon Professor Shaukato Banerjee, Dean of Department of Management Studies, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, students. Respected Father Principal, Reverend Dr. Dominic Xavier SG, respected Father Vice Principal, Reverend Father Peter Orkim SG, the speaker of the today's session, Mrs. Anamika Khanna, dear colleagues and my dear students, a very good evening to you all. I'm very happy to see you all back in campus, attending seminars, attending speaker sessions in offline mode, because you know this vibe and energy were missing in last 2 years, and further the credit goes to COVID. We did not have any offline events, even the classes as well. So thank you XMS students for bringing back that memory, the old memory and the moment again here. Thank you so much. Before I thank our esteemed speaker, let me allow to express my gratitude to Father Principal and Father Vice Principal for their constant support and encouragement. Without their blessings and guidance, this event would not have been possible. Thank you, Father, for being there with us always. I'd like to express my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Mrs. Anamika Khanna, for accepting our invitation and taking out time for our students. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your experience and knowledge with our students. Hope to see you and meet you again here, ma'am. Thank you so much. We are really grateful to you. Special thanks to Archita Theory, the moderator of the speaker session, for nicely moderating the entire session. Thanks to you, ma'am. We are also really grateful to you. The event like this cannot happen overnight. For that, it requires a lot of preparation and hard work and planning. So my special appreciation goes to each and every member of the Xavier's Management Society, led by the two able joint secretaries, Drishti and Tanishka, for their hard work and dedication. I place on record my hearty thanks to all the volunteers because of whom we have made this event possible. Wish you all the best for your future endeavors. I'd like to especially thank our mentors, Professor Shukarna Sharkal and Dr. Shupriya Patro. As Father has said, they have been the backbone of Xavier's Management Society. Without their support and cooperation, this event would not have been possible. I believe they deserve a big round of applause from you then. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for being there with our students and guiding them so nicely. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students present over here for your active participation and making this event a grand success. Kindly forgive me if I miss anyone in my speech. And thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Take care and stay safe. Thank you. Thank you all. Kindly just remain at your seat. Okay, please wait. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Today, on this mild autumnal Monday, we experience the sweet nostalgic hint of how it was once. In all its ancient grandeur, St. Xavier's College was once again zealous for this special occasion, enlightened with invaluable learning and knowledge. We would like to acknowledge the presence of our honorable dignitaries. It is indeed a pleasure to have amongst us Reverend Father Dr. Dominic Xavier, S.J., Principal, Reverend Father Peter Alokiam, S.J., Vice Principal, Department of Management Studies and Department of Commerce Evening, Professor Shogato Banerjee, Dean of the Department of Management Studies, Professor Sukanya Sarkil, Deputy President of the Xavier's Management Society, Professor Shupriya Patra, our Vice President and all our respected professors. We are grateful for the unconditional support that you have extended towards us. None of this would have been possible without your unwavering guidance and contribution. I would also like to thank the support staff of the auditorium for the smooth functioning of our event today. It is a day of extreme pride for the Xavier's Management Society as we were able to organize X-Genesis'22, our first offline event after 2 years, with weeks of perseverance, hard work and dedication. I would like to express zeal and unending glory. We hope to bring you events of greater magnitude in the coming months. Thank you. I would request all of you to please rise on your feet as the dignitaries move out of the auditorium. After which, all attendees are requested to stay back for a short announcement. The attendees of the session are requested to take a seat as I have an announcement to make. Attendees, please hear carefully. On occasion of X-Genesis and it being a grand success, Father Principal and Father Vice Principal have called off the last 2 classes. Everyone is requested to please maintain the decorum of the auditorium. The WCMs will eventually guide you outside the auditorium. Thank you so much for being such wonderful attendees.
Okay, so I know you all are very happy, thrilled. So please use the 2 back doors. Professors are there. So don't make any noise because others are having classes. Okay? Thank you.